Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again, looking towards this weekend's game as Newcastle United go down to London to take on Fulham. And yeah, not the normal surroundings you will have noticed, not out in the van. Unfortunately, the van is no more, but worry not, because going to pick the new one up in about an hour or so's time. So yeah, normal service resume for next weekend's game against Brentford at home. If there is any noise, it's because my little feathered friend is over in the corner, Ruby the parrot. So she may decide that she wants to chirp in and that she's got a point critical to this video. So you never know. She may make a cameo. So that's just a little bit of a heads up beforehand. And before we start today, if you could like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. We are trying to push it to the first 1,000 and to get the channel away. So we really do appreciate your support. And Newcastle, yeah, we're back in action now for what feels like an absolute fucking eternity. International football, it's just not there for me, you know, whatsoever. I think a 3-3 draw at home to Germany probably papers over the cracks and stuff. And I've said it consistently since Southgate was given the job, and I'll still say it now. I said it when he got to the final of the Euros. I think he's a lucky manager. I think for the talented pool of players that he's got, I think to not win anything is criminal. And some of the decisions that he makes are absolutely fucking head scratching, let's be honest. Yeah, you just can't make anything of it. You know, playing fucking attackers as wing backs and all this shit is wrong. And I've just got a feeling that it's going to come to the World Cup, and we'll get knocked out by the first decent opposition that we come up against. I'm sorry to start the video a little bit pessimistically, but it is England, and obviously it's nowhere in comparison to Newcastle United. I've always said, and I'll stick to this, I'd rather Newcastle win the League Cup than England win the World Cup. It's always a case of Newcastle first, you know, for me, by a million miles, and then England, yeah, we'll go along with it and stuff like that. But it's not the same, and I'm out over the moon that, you know, the football's back this weekend, because it feels like an absolutely huge break. And which absolute fucking galah decided to stick an international friendly tournament, you know, now, given the fixture congestion and given the fact that the World Cup is a matter of weeks away. To me, it's absolute fucking madness. But look, it's going to have benefited Newcastle in some ways, because, you know, it's allowed Callum Wilson certainly to get back fit. But in other ways, it's hampered us with players flying all over the globe. We've picked up injuries, haven't we, of the likes of Alexander Isak, and also Bruno, just back from an injury and then gets sent home by Tite. Yeah, that's his nickname. From the Brazil squad, Guimaraes injured. That's good. But the news on him is a little bit more encouraging. Greg Hope reporting that he will be okay for this weekend's game. But it's another huge concern, and it's just like any time he goes down on the deck for this weekend's game, we're all going to be absolutely fucking shitting ourselves, because Newcastle United with Bruno and without Bruno is chalk and cheese. And we've discussed on previous videos, I've said, you know, we've got a great first team, no doubt about it. The quality's improved tremendously, but the depth of talent maybe isn't there. It's the squad depth that we are sort of lacking. So when these players are missing, the players that we've got to come in aren't of the same ilk. If Bruno's out, you're bringing a Sean Longstaff in. If you know, Saint-Maximin's out, you're bringing in the likes of Jacob Murphy or Ryan Fraser, etc., who's had a good time, actually, to be fair with him. He was away with Scotland and played really well. So hopefully that benefits us as well this weekend. So it's really difficult to predict the Newcastle lineup, to be honest, and thus obviously the result, because of the amount of injuries. Eddie Howe's press conference is today. He will play it close to his chest. He will not want to give any sort of tactical advantage to Fulham. Fulham have had a really good start. I think they've only lost twice this season. I remember against Spurs and Arsenal, I think it was. They're above us in the table, but we do have an opportunity to leapfrog them with victory down in London. I think we're more than capable of getting the victory, regardless about who is or isn't available. But we've got to go down there and, you know, really go for it and perform at our maximum. I think, you know, to get a result. Hopefully not another draw. Draw is probably the most backed outcome for this game, you would say, and the most likely. But because we've draw Castle this season, we really need a victory just to sort of push us up there, take a little bit of the pressure. It's very, very early days. I don't even look at the table till at least 10 games has gone. But, you know, a victory would be nice, and it would be very welcome amongst the fan base, and just relieve a little bit of anxiety and tension. But look, I still no problem with the fact that I think this season's going to be a really good season for Newcastle, but it's a case of just riding through these choppy waters when we are missing a few players. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it is, and I think we'll end up having a better second half of the season than first half, obviously because it's sandwiched with this, you know, the World Cup and stuff. But, you know, another 8 games, where can we be in the table? I think we've got to be, you know, looking to around about somewhere between 10th and 8th, and I think if we then recruit well in January, which I think we will do, we can have a fantastic second half of the season, no doubt about it for me. But back to this weekend's game, it'll be interesting to see, do we go 3 at the back? Who plays besides Cher? Because I think Cher's the first choice defender now. Has Dan Burn done enough, you know, through training? He wasn't selected, obviously, by Southgate. Has he done enough to impress? Or is the fact that Sven giving up an opportunity to play for the under-21s for Holland and coming back and staying on Tyneside and working on stuff, has that impressed Eddie Howe enough to give him the nod? It's so close. You could even see them playing with a free and maybe trying something a little bit different again to try and throw Fulham off. I don't know. But it's so tight between the two of them, because none of them have done anything wrong, and nor has Fabian Cher as well. So it's a huge call. That is one of the big calls for this weekend. Who do you start at the back alongside Fabian Cher? Trippier obviously got no starts today for England, so he'll be absolutely fine. Target on the other side, he'll be fine. And then it's who you go with in the midfield. Bruno, like I touched on before, is due to be okay, so that'll be really good. And get Bruno back in, Joe Linton, and it's who do you put in also with them? Joe Willock, Sean Longstaff. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll be interested to see who you would go with. I'm always tempted to more go with Joe Willock, just purely upon the basis of I think he has more likelihood of scoring, and I just sort of base it upon that. You know, to be honest. And then either side, again, it's going to be tricky. ASM looks like he's back. He's doing the dance moves. He's putting the videos out. He's looking really good. We were told it was a slight knock fucking ages ago, so you got to think he's going to be available for this game. I've got a feeling he's going to stick him on the bench. You know, I think he might get a 20 to 30 minutes of the cameo appearance, and in a way you can see how that would work with the second half. Hopefully it's goalless, or Newcastle have got the noses slightly in front. Fulham look over and they see Saint-Maximin coming on. But we just can't afford to be without him, because it's shown during this runway he's been out of the team how much we do rely on him, how much other teams stick maybe 2 players on him that frees up space for other players. He is integral, even if he's having a frustrating afternoon. And I've said this again all along as people have been moaning and groaning in some corners of the support. He's an amazing player. We're lucky to have him. We are lucky to have him. And if he had the 100% consistency, I'd still maintain he'd be at a Champions League club now. So, you know, it benefits us in a way that he's come in as he is, and he's hopefully going to grow with the club as we, you know, look to try and get up the league and climb that ladder towards regular European competition. So, I've got a feeling he's going to start with Miggy and Ryan Fraser, and keep Saint-Maximin on the bench. And then up top, oh my word, that's the curse, isn't it? You spend 50, 60 million pound on a striker. It's going to be missing for the next couple of weeks, unfortunately. The damaged Swede, we're not taking him back to IKEA. No, it's not like that. He's going to miss a couple of weeks. He went away, got injured, wasn't going to feature, so they sent him back. And yeah, getting Craig over against a couple of weeks job. But we've heard that one before, haven't we? How's that one gone? So fingers crossed again that we get some good news on him. Another striker who came off injured, he had a rib injury whilst playing for New Zealand, is Chris Wood. So we don't know whether he's going to be fit and available. And you had to think if he was fit and available, he might have started this game and put put Wilson on the bench. And again, like Saint-Maximin, introduce him 20, 30 minutes towards the end. And again, psychologically for the opposition, that might have been difficult to live with. But just because of sheer lack of numbers, the only other option I see is playing Joe Linton back up top again, which I don't think he wants to do, because He's been a revelation, hasn't he, in midfield? Absolutely fucking brilliant. So you wouldn't want to mess that up and change that too much. So I think Callum Wilson to play up top. And hopefully we get a striker on the bench, because I don't think Callum Wilson can be risked for the entire 90. So we need an option to be able to bring, to bring him off. And again, it could be that the switch is after 60 minutes, Wilson off, Saint-Maximin on, because we've seen Saint-Maximin do the role through the middle, up top, several times. So that could be what Eddie Howe goes with. That's my hunch. I still would like to see us with 4 at the back. So it's going to be, like I said, a massive debate upon Dan Burn or Sven Botman, who slides in beside Cher. Pope will come in, and the Newcastle fans will back him 1000%, no doubt about it. Yes, he had that mistake against Germany, but I also think as well, the cross should never have come in, to be honest. Pope's used to playing behind a decent, competent defence these days, and not the England defence, which is anything but at the moment. Another concern, obviously, for Southgate. But yeah, it's all eyes for me on Craven Cottage. They're going to be opening up another section of the new bit of the stadium that they've done. They've been tarting around a bit of fucking changing rooms or something down there. They've opened up another section, so no doubt that'll be exciting for the fan base and stuff like that. So I think it's important we go down there, we keep it tight for 20-25 minutes. We try and get ourselves in front, and then just control and manage the game. Newcastle could go up to, I think, to 6 over the weekend with a positive result. And, I've got to think that we are, I've said this the last couple of times I've been at St James's, we are due to give somebody a pasting shortly. Because it's been such a frustrating start to the season. But hopefully with players back, with Wilson back, with Bruno back and available in the midfield, with the Saint possibly off the bench as well, looking to build himself up back to his start, we can get a victory down in London and then look towards next weekend and hopefully back-to-back victories, and things will start feeling a lot better, and those who are feeling a little bit uneasy will start feeling a lot better. So let me know what you think down below. Formations, who starts, who's on the bench, what's the plan for the striker area, and then we'll keep an eye out on the press conference from Eddie Howe. If there's anything else major, we'll tag that along. We have made a signing today as well, Kuol, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the young lad from Australia who impressed against Barcelona in the All-Stars game, has officially joined. He'll come and make the move, obviously at the beginning of January. But the deal is done, it's signed, it's sealed, personal terms, all that sort of stuff. He's posed in the shirt, he's had the stadium tour and stuff like that. Rumour that he'll be loaned out to get around any work permit issues. I think if he plays in the World Cup, that might help get him around the work permit issue. And he has talked about being promised he'll be around the first team, pushing for the first team. So it's exciting. From what I've seen, and again, I didn't really know about him too much, apart from what I've seen recently, but he's very direct, ultra pacey, can play in a couple of different positions, either out to the wide or through the middle. And I know that there's been a host of other clubs desperate for this lad's signature, and credit to Newcastle United for stealing the march, getting in front of everybody and doing the deal. And this is a Dan Ashworth deal all over. And if you look at what he did at Brighton, the gems that this lad has unearthed is amazing. And let's hope this is another one on the production line. And he certainly looks the part from what I've seen, from the Australian football. He made his debut against Chris Wood's New Zealand, actually, recently, and caused all sorts of trouble. So he looks the real deal. It's an exciting move for the club to make, and it's good to know that not only are they looking at the first team, the women's team, the stadium, the training ground, which is coming along and should be done for just after Christmas, but they're also looking at the youth teams, and they realise and they appreciate that that needs mega improvement. We've got some good lads down there coming through the ranks, no doubt about it. But again, we need more. We need more. So it's great to see that they are still prioritising that, and they are keeping all these plates spinning at the same time. So it's absolutely fantastic, to be honest. And again, it's like, compared to the England stuff, the Newcastle stuff, everything is rosy in the garden. 100%. Can't wait to see the lads back in action. It does feel like an absolute fucking eternity. So yeah, let us know down below who you would start, the formation, what is the score going to be. I've got a feeling it could be a 2-0 for Newcastle. especially if we have Wilson back. We've got to have Wilson back. He's spoken positively, so I'm going to go for that. He's not going to be benched. He's going to start the game. With Wilson back, Bruno back, with the Saint on the bench, I'm confident. I think we can nudge this one and get ahead. But again, maximum respect to Fulham because they've got some cracking players, including the ex-Newcastle fullback Mbabu, if you remember him from his time up. I don't know if you remember him. Came on against Chelsea, didn't he? He played left back, although he's a right back. He's done really well for himself since leaving. And earned himself a move to the Premier League over the summer. But they have some fantastic players, no doubt about it. They've got Willian and stuff like that. So it's not going to be easy, but I do expect Newcastle to pick up a victory here. We've got to pick up a victory here. Get that positive momentum going, and that you can wash that bad taste of the England shite out of your fucking mouth that you've had to stomach for the last, goodness knows how long. It feels like fucking months to seeing that shite. Yeah. And just finally, there's no way Eddie Howe's going to leave Newcastle United on an upward trajectory, dreaming about Champions League, making changes to the club left, right and centre, being heavily involved. He's in the nerve centre of the operation to go and join Wembley in England. It's just too soon. It's the wrong time. No doubt he's good enough. No doubt about it. But nah, the project, he's definitely got the bug. There's no worry about that. For people worrying about that, forget about it. Absolutely forget about it, and look forward to this weekend's game against Fulham. In the meantime, take care, keep it tuned. I'm off to go and get the new van, and I'll speak to you later. Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul. Little bit on the end of today. Thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for the continued support. We're back out in the van at 2.0. The last one, all of a sudden, 2 days before its MOT, decided to die. So we've got a brand new van, brand new surroundings for the view from the van. So the view from the van videos will be back starting from after this weekend's game down at Craven Cottage against the Chelsea Wannabes in Fulham. Take care, keep it.